Question 1. When do windscreen pillars cause a serious obstruction to your view? C. When you're approaching bends and junctions. Windscreen pillars can obstruct your view, particularly at bends and junctions. Look out for other road users, especially cyclists, motorcyclists, and pedestrians who can easily be overlooked.
If you want to pass DVSA theory test in first time, you can download our EOS app. App contains 2500 DVSA test questions, 250 hazard perception videos, 630 road signs and 300 highway code rules. Even 98.50% people pass their test first time after using our app. You can find link in the description. Download app for free from App Store, which contains latest 2024 material licensed by DVSA authority. Get 3 days free trial for a limited time. Let's get back to the video.
Question 2. What must you do when the amber light is flashing at a pelican crossing? C. Give way to pedestrians already on the crossing. Pelican crossings have no red and amber stage before green. Instead, they have a flashing amber light. This means you must give way to pedestrians who are on the crossing, but if the crossing is clear, you can continue. Question 3. When are you not allowed to sound your vehicle's horn? C. Between 11:30 p.m. and 7 a.m. in a built-up area. It's illegal to sound your horn in a built-up area between 11:30 p.m. and 7 a.m., except when another road user poses a danger. Question 4. When should tire pressures be checked? A. When tires are cold. Check the tire pressures when the tires are cold. This will give you a more accurate reading. Question 5. You need to top up your battery with distilled water. What level should you fill it to? C. Just above the cell plates. Top up the battery with distilled water and make sure each cell plate is covered. Question 6. What makes your tires illegal, so? D. If they have any large, deep cuts in the side wall. Tires may be second-hand or different makes, but they must be intact without cuts or tears. Question 7. What's most likely to waste fuel? A. Underinflated tires. Underinflated tires waste fuel and cause unnecessary pollution. Question 8. What will reduce fuel consumption? D. Driving more slowly. Harsh braking, frequent gear changes, and harsh acceleration increase fuel consumption. Driving slowly and steadily reduces fuel consumption. Question 9. What should you do when you leave your car unattended for a few minutes? C. Lock it and remove the key. Always switch off the engine. Remove the key and lock your car even if you're only leaving it for a few minutes. Question 10. What's the legal minimum tread depth for tires on your trailer or caravan? C. 1.6 millimeters. The legal tread depth of 1.6 millimeters applies to the central 3/4 of a tire's breadth over its entire circumference. Question 11. You're about to go down a steep hill. What should you do to control the speed of your vehicle? B. Select a low gear and use the brakes carefully. When driving down a steep hill, select a lower gear to give you more engine braking and make careful use of the brakes. Question 12. What should you do before starting a journey in foggy weather? D. Allow more time. If you have to travel in fog, allow more time and drive carefully. Question 13. What must you do if your eyesight has become very poor and you're no longer able to meet the driver's eyesight requirements? A. Tell the driver licensing authority. If you can't meet the driver's eyesight requirements, you must tell DVLA or DVA in Northern Ireland. Question 14. What must you do if poor health affects your driving? B. Inform the licensing authority. You must tell DVLA if your health is likely to affect your driving ability. Question 15. What's the purpose of these road markings? A. To ensure children can see and be seen when they're crossing the road. These markings are found outside schools to give children a clear view when crossing. Question 16. You're at the front of a queue of traffic waiting to turn right into a side road. Why is it important to check your right mirror just before turning? A. To check for overtaking vehicles. A motorcyclist could be riding along the outside of the queue. Always check your mirror before turning. Question 17. You've stopped at a pelican crossing. What should you do if a disabled person is crossing slowly in front of you and the lights change to green? D. Wait for them to finish crossing. At a pelican crossing, wait for anyone still crossing, whether disabled or not. Question 18. What should you do if you overtake a cyclist when it's very windy? A. Allow extra room. Cyclists and motorcyclists can be blown off course in high winds. Always allow plenty of room. Question 19. Why could it be dangerous to keep the clutch down or select neutral for long periods of time while you're driving? B. You'll have less steering and braking control. Letting your vehicle roll or coast in neutral reduces your control over steering and braking. Question 20. You're driving on an icy road. What distance from the car in front should you drive? B. 10 times the normal distance. On icy roads, stopping distances can be 10 times greater than on dry roads. Question 21. What color are the reflective studs between a motorway and a slip road? D. Green. Green studs mark slip roads on motorways. Question 22. On a 3-lane motorway, which lane should you use if there's no traffic ahead? D. Left. On a 3-lane motorway, you should normally travel in the left-hand lane unless overtaking. Question 23. You're in the right-hand lane of a 3-lane motorway. What do these overhead signs mean? D. Move to the left and reduce your speed to 50 miles per hour. You must obey motorway overhead signs even if there appear to be no problems ahead. Question 24. Which vehicle might have to take a different course from normal at a roundabout? A. Long vehicle. A long vehicle may need to straddle lanes on a roundabout. Give it plenty of room. Question 25. You're traveling along a residential street. There are parked vehicles on the left-hand side. Why should you keep your speed down? D. Children may run out from between the vehicles. Always drive slowly in residential streets. Children may suddenly run into the road. Question 26. What should you do if the amber lights come on and a warning sounds while you're driving over a level crossing? C. Keep going and clear the crossing. If the amber lights and warning sound as you cross, keep going. Don't stop on the crossing. Question 27. What does this sign mean? D. End of 20 miles per hour zone. This sign means the 20 mile per hour restriction ends and a 30 mile per hour restriction begins. Question 28. What does this sign mean? B. Level crossing with gate or barrier. Some crossings have gates but no signals. Stop and check carefully before crossing. Question 29. What does this sign mean? C. Contraflow system. In a contraflow system, traffic may be moving against you without a barrier between. Question 30. At traffic lights, what does it mean when the amber light shows on its own? C. Stop at the stop line. An amber light on its own means stop, unless stopping would cause a collision. Question 31. You're in the left-hand lane at traffic lights waiting to turn left. Which signal means you must wait? B. Filter light requires you to wait. Filter lights may apply to individual lanes. Obey the signals for your lane. Question 32. Who has priority when traffic lights are out of order? D. Nobody. When lights are out of order, treat it as an unmarked crossroads with no priority. Question 33. Why does this junction have a stop sign and a stop line on the road? C. Visibility along the major road is restricted. Where visibility is restricted, a stop sign and line are used. You must stop and check. Question 34. Where would you find green reflective studs on a motorway? C. At slip road entrances and exits. Green reflective studs mark slip road entrances and exits. Question 35. What should you do when you see this sign as you travel along a motorway? B. Leave the motorway at the next exit. This sign means the motorway is closed ahead. Leave at the next exit. Question 36. What does this sign mean? C. End of restriction. Temporary restrictions are shown with flashing amber lights. This sign shows the end of restriction. Question 37. What's the maximum fine for driving or riding without insurance? D. Unlimited. Driving without insurance carries an unlimited fine, plus possible disqualification or penalty points. Question 38. Who's responsible for paying the vehicle tax? C. The registered keeper of the vehicle. The registered keeper is responsible for paying vehicle tax or making a SORN. Question 39. When could the cost of your insurance be reduced? D. When you complete the Pass Plus scheme. Pass Plus provides additional training recognized by many insurers and can reduce premiums. Question 40. There's been a collision. How can you help a driver who's suffering from shock? C. Reassure them confidently. Stay with the casualty suffering from shock and reassure them until help arrives. Question 41. At an incident, how could you help a small child who isn't breathing? B. Open their airway and begin CPR. If a small child isn't breathing, open their airway and begin CPR. Question 42. At an incident, a casualty is unconscious but breathing. When should you move them? C. When there's a risk of further danger. Only move an unconscious casualty if there's further danger, e.g., traffic or fire. Question 43. What should you do if an instrument panel warning light comes on while you're driving? A. Check out the problem quickly and safely. An illuminated warning light could mean your car is unsafe. Check promptly. Question 44. What's the first thing you must do if you have a collision while you're driving your car? D. Stop at the scene of the incident. By law, you must stop after a collision causing damage or injury and exchange details. Question 45. What should you do before you tow a trailer for the first time? A. Take professional training. Professional training helps you tow trailers safely and confidently. Question 46. What must you do when you hitch an unbraked trailer to a towing vehicle? C. Fit a secondary coupling device. Use a secondary coupling device so the trailer stays attached if the tow hitch fails. Question 47. What does this sign mean? D. Stopping place for tourist buses. This sign shows a stopping place for tourist buses. Question 48. What does this yellow panel indicate? C. Waiting restrictions. This yellow panel indicates waiting restrictions within the zone. Question 49. Whilst you are driving, you spot this sign. What does it tell you? C. An upcoming bridge. This triangular sign warns of an upcoming hump bridge. Question 50. What does this sign tell you? B. No vehicles over the height shown may pass the sign. No vehicles over the height shown may pass the sign, shown in metric and imperial units.
If you want to pass DVSA theory test in first time, you can download our EOS app. App contains 2500 DVSA test questions, 250 hazard perception videos, 630 traffic road signs and 300 highway code rules. Even 98.50% people pass their test first time after using our app. You can find link in the description. Download app for free from App Store, which contains latest 2024 material licensed by DVSA authority. Get 3 days free trial for a limited time. Let's get back to the video.